Speaking of hip hop and taking your time and being a genius and respecting the craft, this was interesting. Drake finds it difficult to make love songs these days, says Lil Yachty. And the reason behind this is very cool, and I think more artists should follow down this path. I would assume Drake wouldn't follow down this path, but I would also, like, he's in between because he drops so much music, like, consistently, that what he's saying here kind of contradicts what somebody who doesn't drop a lot of music does. So let's read it and then you'll see what I'm talking about. Lil Yachty has claimed that his rap buddy Drake struggles to make love songs like he used to, despite his reputation as a romantic. In the latest episode of a Safe Place podcast, Lil Boat, who has become one of Drake's closest collaborators over the last year, explained why it's been a minute since the Six God has made a sweet, heartfelt track. Like, hold on, we're going home, or take care. He said this: I asked him a while ago, I said something like, man, why don't you make songs like you used to? I was like, why don't you make love songs? Like those songs that makes people miss the ex and shit. Drake said this: I think he explained to me how it's hard for him to make music about things he isn't dealing with or experiencing, which opened an eye for me because me, on the other hand, as a songwriter, I can just go make up some shit. He continued and said, I can create a scenario, I can create a story, I can make a song about a girl I never met, I can make a love song about a relationship I've never been in. But for him, everything is real, everything is pulled from something. Maybe he hasn't been in love in a while to make love, deep love music, or whatever the case may be. So it's all real experiences for him. What it is just what he's going through in the time, which I respect a lot because it's like journaling at that point. And that is very real shit because artists, I think you need to experience life as an artist then to finally drop an album. Because if you're just dropping an album every year, and this is what I mean with what I was talking about earlier, is Drake drops so much music consistently. It's like, does he really draw from his life? A lot of it, it's like, how much can you draw within a year? Because you drop an album basically damn near every year, a project with somebody or something, damn near every year. The fact that he said this to Yachty is like, yo, I'm not really in love. I haven't been in love. I can't make love music because I haven't been in love. I draw from real shit. That's some real shit, and I wish more artists would do that. I wish more artists would take their time in releasing music. I know Drake contradicts that, but hey, if you experience a lot of life in a year and you can drop albums damn near every year or every other year, then do it. But I do feel like as an artist, where the best music comes is just experiencing life. That has to be the reason because, what are you going to rap? Especially if you've been in the game for a long time. It's like, what the fuck can you make music about? It's like at this point, you haven't experienced enough, or if you experienced way too much that you've written about everything. So that's really cool that he said that, man, that he owned up to that and was like, you know what? I haven't been in love, man. I can't make music about this. But Lil Yachty did talk about the For All the Dogs album. He said it sounds very current. It's interesting. It's coming together a lot better than I thought. I just had a talk with him a couple of days ago in Vancouver and was like, man, I was a little worried because I have a lot of songs. I don't have all of them, but I know I have a lot of them, though. And I was like, man, I just don't know if it's how are you going to put this together? Yeah, it's a lot of great songs, but they don't really, in my brain, they don't really sound good together. And then we had a talk about it, and he explained to me his thought process about it. And then we drove to that video shoot, which was like an hour away, and listened to it, and it makes sense now. So Drake's dad also said it's his best piece of work ever, which Drake's dad is going to have a bias, of course, but we'll see, man. The album cover is ass cheeks, but Drake's had bad album covers for a minute now. No disrespect to Adonis for drawing it, but the music really hasn't been hitting for me with Drake for a minute, and I am going to go live on stream to react to it because I feel like, it's Drake, of course. Why not? But I'm not really excited. Like, I haven't been excited for a Drake album in a minute. And, I think people, when I said that on Twitter, people were like, kind of like, why? Some people were agreeing with me, some people weren't. But, just not, it hasn't hit for me in a while, man, with Drake. I used to be excited a while ago, man. I would be like, damn, new Drake, I can't wait. Now it's just, It's been like, okay, let's see what he's got now. It's like, oh, let's listen to this guy that everybody's hyping up on social media. Let's go check him out again. That's how it's been with me. And I always give that 3-strike rule on artists. And Eminem damn near got to that 3-strike rule with me because he missed with Marshmallow's LP2 and he missed with Revival. So had he missed with Kamikaze, which he didn't to me, I probably wouldn't find a lot of interest in Eminem's music anymore. He was that close to missing with Kamikaze. Had he missed with that, it would have been like, I don't really give a fuck, or to check for Eminem's music like that. That's just I think 3 strikes is good, man. I think that's a good rule to go by. It gives you 3 chances. You miss 3 times in a row, and you know, at that point, you're not really making music that I'm interested in anymore. And Chief Keef's gone. I remember I used to be a huge Chief Keef fan, man. Fuck, every time the guy would drop a mixtape, I would check it out. Every album, whatever the case may be that he was dropping, I would check it out. But eventually, it got to the point where his sound evolved, and it got to a point where I just don't like it anymore. And I was like, I'm not a fan of this. Let's stay away from this Chief Keef sound. And you know, he has moments where he drops good tracks here and there, but that's one example of people that kind of musically that I don't check for anymore. And who else, man? A lot of artists I just can't think off the top of my head that I just don't check for anymore. Now, if I run into a song or somebody recommends me a song from an artist, let's just say, you know, Chief Keef drops an album and somebody recommends me, yo, this Chief Keef's fire, check it out. I'll check it out. I'm not going to be like, oh, fuck this guy. He had 3 strikes and he's out. Nah, I'm not going to be like that. But we'll keep our eye on for this Drake one, man. I'm curious to see what it's going to sound like.